Today we're going to cover the 5 most powerful alien species in the MCU. First up, the Cree. The Cree have appeared in the MCU and other Marvel projects like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The race of blue-skinned aliens is steeped in tradition and a long history, and much of that history has actually been pretty bloody. The Cree are a warlike race that focuses much of its attention on conquering other planets. This has taken them across the cosmos to places like Earth, Xandar, and numerous other worlds. Compared to humans, the Cree are much stronger, much more durable, and they have a much longer lifespan. They also have the technology to travel through space in faster-than-light travel that humanity has yet to match. The Cree first came to Earth millennia ago, when humans had yet to discover the secrets of agriculture. The Cree manipulated human DNA to create the Inhumans, a race of superhuman beings often compared to mutants. And the Cree also mastered their own DNA eons ago, making it possible to enhance their biology beyond what would be organically possible. And thanks to their advanced technology, the Cree are not to be underestimated. In the MCU, Cree, like Ronan the Accuser, demonstrated the technological superiority of his race, and he was just one man with a great deal of power. 4. Flora Colossus. Now, this entry is a bit of a stretch, seeing as there's only one known member of the species. Flora Colossus is actually the species name for Groot, and given what happened when he met the Collector, it seems he's the last surviving member of his race. This may prove to be untrue though, depending on how the MCU plays out, but that hardly matters when you look at how powerful a single individual is in the Flora Colossus. Groot has some communication issues when speaking to other species, but his language is actually incredibly complex. When he says, "I am Groot," how he says it conveys a far more detailed response. Saying, "I am Groot" may seem like a limitation, but it's actually hardly that. When you look beyond his speaking ability, his species is unique and powerful. A Flora Colossus can extend its body in numerous ways, using branching tree limbs as weapons or tools. Additionally, they can create a bioluminescent pod to light up an area, and they are incredibly strong, powerful enough to effortlessly lift several thousand pounds and toss it with a single limb, which is something we saw Groot do in one of the final fight scenes of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They also have amazing regenerative abilities too, and can regrow severed limbs in very short order. Even more powerful is how they die and reproduce. When Groot was killed at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket planted a portion of his body, which grew into an entirely new individual. It has since been revealed that the new Groot is the old Groot's offspring, which makes the manner of his reproduction all the more fascinating. At the end of the day, any species that functions as a walking, talking, butt-kicking tree is powerful enough to make it on this list. 3. The Elders of the Universe. In the comics, the Elders of the Universe are the last surviving members of an alien race that is almost as old as the universe itself. They're immortal and immensely powerful beings who are known across the universe. And in the MCU, they're a bit different, but it's not clear if they're exactly like their comic book counterparts or not. Thus far, 2 elders have been introduced, the Collector and the Grand Master. Both have been shown to be capable and talented leaders, liars, and influencers. The Grand Master's influence extends millions of years in the past. While the Revengers may have gotten the better of him when they escaped, he's likely just doing fine on Sakaar. And the Collector's fate remains a bit more unknown, but it's possible Thanos didn't kill him. Regardless, the 2 elders who've been seen in the MCU are just the beginning. If the movies follow the comics at all, we may eventually see the In-Betweener, the Champion, the Gardener, and perhaps the Runner, who actually beat a Marvel Comics version of the Flash in a universal race. Ego the Living Planet in the comics is an elder of the universe, but he wasn't even introduced as one in the movies, instead being shown as a celestial. 2. The Asgardians. They may seem like gods to mortal men, but the Asgardians are actually mortal beings. They're just insanely powerful and long-lived. When the Asgardians first came to Midgard, which is what they know Earth to be, the people worshipped them as gods, and their culture shaped Norse culture in turn. Every Asgardian is stronger, more durable, and longer living than humans, but some are a bit more special than others. Thor, for example, is known as the God of Thunder due to his ability to literally control the weather. He can shoot off lightning bolts, make it rain, and he can fly. His power is nearly unmatched, but he's only one example. Odin's power is immense, and his abilities make it possible for Asgard to conquer the 9 realms. Eventually, Odin would have a change of heart, and he decided to rule as a more benevolent leader, as it were, but his daughter Hela did not. Hela commands a great deal of power and has been shown to resurrect the dead. She can manifest blades at will and use them with deadly perfection. She's also pretty impossible to kill. Add to all this that the technology that they use in Asgard appears to be magic to lesser beings. So they basically have this unlimited power of illusion, manifestation, and a lot more. They also live to be at least 5,000 years, which explains their ability to influence so many cultures and peoples across the cosmos. 1. The Celestials. The most powerful alien species in the Marvel Universe, whether it's the books or the movies, is easily the Celestials. They haven't been explored in too much detail in the MCU, but at least 3 have been mentioned or seen in the movies. When the Collector explained the Power Stone to the Guardians of the Galaxy, he showed them a video of Isan the Searcher using it to annihilate a planet. The Collector did that while he was standing inside Nowhere, which is actually the disembodied head of a Celestial, and it's the size of a small moon. In the second Guardians movie, Ego introduced himself as a Celestial as well. He explained that he was billions of years old and was actually the planet they were standing on, in addition to being the man standing before them. More Celestials will be introduced in the Eternals, seeing as he created both the Eternals and the Deviants. In the comics, they're also the ones who introduced the Mutant X gene. And actually, Thanos carries the Deviant gene, so the Celestials can be blamed for the Mad Titan as well. It's difficult to measure exactly how powerful the Celestials are though, as they're an incredibly enigmatic and rare species. What's known is that they are massive beings encased in armor who are godlike in many ways. They can create life and destroy it on a cosmic scale.